this thing, please, V1, could you help us out? Could you put this team out? Because Peeps are up on them by 10 points heading into this match, and it gets further away should they win it.
Yeah, so probably the most popular the Peeps have ever been, and they're already a pretty popular team, I would say, with all the G2 fans backing them up today. Illusion's going to start off very, very strong for them, and that is a very, very early goal. In a close matchup like this, we actually had AJ and Illusion both going for this. They both had great chances. And Illusion with great placement. I love that he shot that one low. Saw the wall being defended. Make sure to keep the shot low to go under it.
I didn't misspeak, it's actually V1 that can have all the fans on this one. They want Peeps out early.
Oh, true. I just totally believed you when you said that. I was like,
yeah, don't worry.
Right.
I have that on people. If I didn't take responsibility, nobody would have figured it out. Gimmick tries to take responsibility to getting his team back in. AJ.
What are your actual predictions here, Shogun? Do you think
I try to stay away from these.
I don't think this is going to be easy to do.
I'm always on the side of chaos, so my predictions are typically less what I think is going to happen, more what I want to happen.
Yeah.
I want the chaos. I want everyone scrapping for that top 6. So.
Oh yeah.
My perfect version would actually have V1 going on to win the whole tournament, just to try and get them that much closer.
Yes. Version 1 is the chaos. Version 2 is Peeps winning. Canada some more scripted storyline in their favor, but. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Like Desk, you're saying, they've never beaten the Peeps, and they always do struggle in those Game 5s, Game 7s against top-level competition as well. So that's another thing that just really goes against V1 here. If they're going to win, I would see it being a close series, and how are they going to win a close series when they've lost so many ace matches in the past?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday they had 2 chances to knock NRG into the lower bracket. They ended up losing both of those. Just struggle to get over the line. But they have been improving. Here is Com. Might just tip it in. Instead, Torment with the rebound. That is what V1 fans want to see.
Yeah, brilliant from Torment. Just offloading the ball into the middle. Com, tried to go for that bar down shot, but it turns out to be just as effective when it catches the crossbar flush. Torment finishes it off. And V1 are back in it already. There's been lots of space for both teams to work with, extremely aggressive posturing by both teams, leaving space at the back post to be utilized. That's a good passing lane to use. Much harder for a goalkeeper to intercept a shot that's flying all the way over there than a shot coming in or a pass coming in towards the near post.
Oh, Gimmick fakes out one. Illusion just going to be a little bit thankful he's got his team back. But how much longer? 2 players committed. And that brick wall was strong enough to at least keep the ball out temporarily. Gyro with Illusion up in support. Isn't going to need him. What a chance that was for V1.
Yeah, it's a great pass by Gimmick. And he really did take his time with it. Got a great mind game to set it up. And I think it was definitely scoreable if Torment had just a bit more faith in Gimmick to pull that pass off. It's hard to imagine that pass being possible when you see where Gimmick started off the play, but you got to remember this guy. He's had an entire Rocket League career based on just making life difficult for the other team. That's a pretty sick pinch by Illusion off the ceiling. Just clipped it and sent the ball flying, but V1 still have control.
Oh, Gimmick's taken one out. That will be immediately replaced by Gyro. I think there's more than enough demos happening across the field. He's going to drop into a good spot for Illusion. Gimmick blasts the ball back down. Like a bit of ping pong between these 2 teams. Usually figured out by the time at least one player makes a mistake. That has now happened. And the Peeps now have an offensive chance. Illusion couldn't quite claim the ball. Instead now brought into defense. AJ taken out. That takes away Illusion's passing opportunity as well. It's going to lock the Peeps into this side of the field. It's not the best touch. Well recovered. AJ on the balls of his feet, ready to attack, because that was dangerous.
Yeah, that was really not a good clear by Gyro, but like you said, it was closed down perfectly. Otherwise, the Peeps would have certainly conceded there. Nice little knockdown pass from Com to Gimmick. Gyro's going to try and cut in field. Com's all over him, though. Now he's faked one. He's flicked it over one. But AJ has got it covered once again. He's really doing a great job right now, just being that foundation for his team to fall back on in defense. And AJ, obviously, he's the highlight reel for the Peeps. He's the offensive monster and the mechanical player. Although they've all got you know, tricks up their sleeves, it's AJ who's usually stealing the show in that regard. But you know, he's trying to do what First Killer does for Rogue at the moment. Just do everything. You know, be that last line of defense, be the guy leading the attack, and just be the guy dominating the midfield. And if anyone's able to do that, if anyone's got the potential and the, you know, the current ability to do that, I think AJ would be pretty high up in that list.
Absolutely, one of the strongest mechanical players over in North America. Torment can't quite get the ball into a shootball position for Gimmick. Game one, very much in the air. Both of these teams. Looks like it's going to come down to one final goal. Torment and the rest of his team just looking to find overtime. They finally get it. Both these teams well matched up here in the opening 5 minutes.
This is not the part of the series I'm all that worried about for V1 for. It's the end of the series that makes me concerned for V1. They've got to get early wins here. They need to put the pressure on the Peeps. We know the Peeps have got comeback potential. We know that they are going to be clutching those closing games and closing seconds. Will V1 be able to do likewise? That is scored unclear. Now though, V1 are playing well. This is just completely even match. I think it deserved an overtime. And patience from Calm. He's not going to need a back pass here. It's actually better for him to just take that one himself. It's a bit awkward for Gimmick to clear it. Running right into early interceptions. Calm just played it out into the middle instead. There's some space for Gyro. He's messed up his flick though. V1 have had more opportunities late in the game here. Ever since getting that equalizing goal, they've been the team who are pressuring more often. And they're not overextending. This is a great look for V1. Now here's chance for Gimmick. Goes for another mind game.
Yeah, Gimmick's been slowing down the play so often. The opposing side of the field. The backboard. Torment didn't want to commit. So the Gimmick was only just starting to return to his side of the field. Now Gimmick with the chance. Didn't really get the chance to get too much power on it, but V1, their transition game looking good. They are not ever getting caught on their side of the field. Instead, it's going to be a quick shot. Gimmick reacts well.
That's great coverage of the goal there from Gimmick. He is not the player he once was, you know, with defensive weaknesses. He really has solidified his game over the years, saving his team on that occasion. Here come the Peeps again, though, starting to have more success with the counter-attacking play. Illusion past one, but again, it's Gimmick who's able to knock the ball clear. And although it's not to the side, he's got a bit of distance on it, and that buys his team time. Now Calm straight down the middle, no extra touch on that air dribble. But he's got support. Gimmick and Torment now. And his shot doesn't go all that fast.
And Illusion barely avoided managing to put that ball straight back into Torment. Both these teams desperate to try and grab game one. Gyro only as far as Gimmick. V1 have definitely had the better territory so far, but they also do look open to counterattacks. Double commit. AJ will be forced to go by himself. Something that he'll be more than happy to do. Now off the backboard, Gimmick over to Com. 2.5 minutes of overtime down. Is that gonna be it? It's off the crossbar. It's available, and AJ with a calamity goal, but he won't care how it went in. All he'll care is that his team have got game one.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. V1. Such a solid game overall, and then all it took was two players vacating the goal line at the worst possible time. It was Gimmick and Torment. They just left it open, and AJ's shot almost went straight in off the ceiling. He just played an early interception there, AJ. Connected hard with the ball, and it proved to be too difficult for Gimmick to clear. Had Gimmick actually just waited, if he just drove up to that ball, waited to see what kind of bounce it was going to be, and then went for the clear, he would have had it. But he tried to pre-jump, he tried to read the bounce, didn't get it right, he misread it, and he realized that all he was really doing there is own goaling, so he decided to just do nothing instead, which, you know, by comparison is probably a good choice. But yeah, you'll really just wish that he didn't pre-jump there, because like I said, he would have had this clear. He was going to get there first. Yeah, it still wasn't going to be an easy following few seconds for V1, but they would have had a chance.
Yeah, and it's one that if we took away the histories and the team names of both of these, we'd be quite happy with both of these teams and the way they played that first one. You know, both looking very solid. But knowing V1 struggles later on against teams of this caliber, you get the feeling that first game needed to go their way. Instead, they've dropped it. The Peeps have got there first, and we're going to see how both these two teams react in our next game.
Yeah, and the game was going quite well for V1. They got the equalizer, and they were pretty consistently pressuring the Peeps, and the Peeps have shown that they're very willing to just sit back and defend this tournament. They did a lot of that yesterday, but I don't think V1 are all that used to overextending. That's a great play by Peeps at the back post. Gyro will pick it up and stick it in the top corner, and it was just all eyes on AJ threatening the back wall play, but the miss actually works out even better for them.
So Peeps continuing where they were in the last game. Version1 do not have the answer. I'm sure they wish they had. Off to the corner. First time we've seen the blue side of the field. Version1 gonna try and make it count. Back to the corner. Gimmick, 52 boost. Not the bounce he was expecting. Just had to scramble to try and keep the play, but now AJ wants to go over the top of Torment. Good block. Con will pop it over. What a touch that is. That unleashes Gimmick. Now chance, Torment for the double tap. Has he got it? Well, you had to respect it. And the Peeps respected it enough to send 2 players.
Yeah, that's a really aggressive play by Torment. Fantastic speed and a really difficult read as well. Now, Torment's got a bit of time. He's going to pick his spot. Illusion's got the save, though. What a save that is. Torment had so much time right next to the goal to set up a free shot. So really just Illusion saving the Peeps there.
Gyro looking for Torment in the goal. Getting aiming for it, and Illusion slightly misreads. Torment on the chase. Now it pops all the way to Gimmick. Here's Torment. What a touch! What a goal!
Torment with the goal steal, goal secured. I think it was necessary. We had Gyro in the vicinity, and he was trying to get a touch on that.
You see Gyro, you do what you have to do.
Yeah, Gyro was definitely there to be a nuisance in the position. Fantastic touch by Torment to redirect it into a spot in the goal that Gyro couldn't cover. He had too much momentum in the other direction. And once again, V1 have responded with an equalizer, and they're going to continue. Hopefully for them, they can get another goal quickly before the Peeps solidify. It looks like the Peeps are going to do just that. Or are they? Gimmick gets one out of nowhere. And that was a bit of a giveaway there. The Peeps had been close to the ball. Maybe a bit too close. Illusion just flipped away. I don't exactly know where he's going there. Really looked like he should be playing the ball in that one. He might have just misread where his third man was. Maybe he thought an opponent was a teammate or something. I'm not really sure.
Well, no matter what the thought process was, it wasn't what they needed. And now Torment and the rest of V1 in the driver's seat here in game 2. Might not last for long, though, as AJ pixel perfect with his positioning, and what a pass to get it to him.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal pass by Gyro, straight down on top of AJ. And very instructive shot there for AJ, not dodging into the ball. Had he dodged forward, obviously the front end of his car would have dipped under the ball and it would have gone slowly on target. The double jump actually lifts the front end of the car's hitbox upwards into the ball, and he's already got so much speed to add to the ball, which is moving quickly to begin with. It shows you don't have to dodge into the ball to get a boomer on net. Gyro wanted to do the same there, but it was a bit too high and over the top of him. Much like game 1 now, Shogun, V1 have got to try and get this next goal. We keep talking about it. They don't have the best record in the tail end of series against this level of competition. Peeps, meanwhile, have got a far more terrifying record in those kind of situations, and they've never lost to V1. So this is a must-win game for V1, really, on paper.
Yeah, and it's, you know, maybe not the nicest thing to say for V1 fans, but with these two teams so close, it feels like a series that deserves to go to 7. I'm sure they don't want to. I'm sure a cheeky 4-1 may be the best timeline for them.
Yeah.
But I think these two teams looking very difficult to separate. We're going to see whether or not it's just the clutch moments that the Peeps might have over V1 as we do start heading into that part of the game. Gyro looking for Torment. They might have their chance. Com tried to scramble, and they've managed to mess around the play. They back out yet again. It's somehow blocked. And we stay at 2 each, but for how much longer? AJ off the ceiling looks to try and follow up. There's nobody around for his team to try and take his pass, but they get in late. Off to Gyro, they've got it in. And there was nothing left for V1. They had looked for boost, they couldn't get any. And eventually Gyro is gonna put his team up.
Yeah, just a nightmare scenario for Gimmick in the goal line. Just wasn't sure from his angle whether or not that shot was going in off the post, whether it's hitting the post flush, whether it's just going in directly. And once again, he's just tried to read it and got it wrong. Easy shot for Gyro. Peeps ending up in a very advantageous position now. Still though, time for V1 to rectify the situation, but it's not looking good for them right now. AJ's got to flip off the ceiling. Com challenges early to try and stop him as fast as he can. V1 need more than that now. They've really had to work for the goals that they've scored in this series. They needed extended periods of pressure to wear down the Peeps defense. It's a good start, but once again, the Peeps able to clear the ball.
That means back to square one for V1. Com taking his time, but is he taking too much? AJ just turns and challenges him, and V1 crumble. They had no idea what to do.
And once again, it's just one of those awkward little plays for Gimmick in goal. He's 1 yard off the goal line there. If he's 1 yard on the side of the goal in the net, he gets an easy clear in that play. But no, he's just decided to drive 1 yard off the goal line, get just that little bit closer to the play in case it breaks out in front of him. But you'll wish that he didn't, because like I said, if he just sits in the goal there, that is a routine clear. In fact, it's a hard clear. He can absolutely smash that ball into the Peeps end of the field. Very, very careless defending there, costing V1 another goal. But Peeps have been clinical. Once more, they take a whole lot of their chances that they're being given.
25 seconds left. It's looking like V1 are going to have to go to the tail end of this series if they want to make it through. Peeps look to have secured this one. Unless V1 can get themselves a goal off this play. Torment's demo and a mistouch there from Illusion might give them a chance. Gyro's not ready. They just needed a player to really attack that one, and V1 could have had one back. Instead, they didn't, and they are going to drop to 2-0 down in this series. Maybe a highlight reel goal for the road. AJ almost found his teammate. He'll have to settle for just putting it top corner.
Yeah, I like to think that AJ was trying to hit Gyro here. Oh, he definitely was. Yeah, AJ was looking at Gyro this whole play. He was trying to pass it back to him midair, but didn't make contact, and he's accidentally scored. That's the best kind of failed pass, when you're just like trying to hit a pass to a pre-jumping teammate, then you score by mistake. Yeah, just green grass is all AJ can see.
Like all of our mistakes, Johnny, could result in a goal in an RLCS major. You know, just... It's a real shame. I really feel for him.
Yeah, what a shame. Oh, scored. What a disaster. I mean, it was a nonsense goal anyway. The game was already over. V1 tried to hold it together here, but they ended up just falling apart more and more as we went on. You know, some of these positions were just really awkward. The third goal was just a very awkward one for V1 to deal with. Gimmick just couldn't tell from his defensive angle if it was going in or not, so he had to just go for it. But the fourth goal, we had a bit of just slowing down of the play from Com in defense. He gets massively dunked on, so you know, not the best hitbox in that 50-50 by him. And Gimmick just on the wrong side of the goal line at the worst possible time. So it's all gone wrong for V1 at the end of that game. The series is very quickly going the same way that Space Station Gaming versus Rogue did.
Yeah, we're seeing sort of why it's so important to start off these series well. And it was only one goal separating them in game number one, but just using that momentum, the Peeps, you know, have now got themselves a very solid foundation for the rest of the series. As for V1, you know, this isn't looking great for them, but this is still a massive improvement from where they were last split. They didn't even make it to the major in the last split. Picks up 120 points. That's nothing. You know, we see them pretty much guaranteed to hit 700 from today's tournament. Heck, even their run into this major was difficult, grabbing themselves the grid wildcard spot just to make it in here. So the fact that they've got themselves in this position is a form of Rocket League miracle, but they want to try and take this a little bit further. They want to take on Rogue in the next round, but to do so, they've got to find that little bit extra. I want to see them sort of up the pace a little bit. We know that they're very good at slowing it down. but I don't think that worked. The Peeps aren't going to get fooled by that. They're not making enough defensive mistakes. I want to see this team just get so much quicker and use some of that pace.
Yeah, the V1 boys just didn't look as confident in that second game. I think game one was a very good look for them overall. They played well right up until the very last second, where they've left an opening in defense for Peeps to exploit. And then game two, we saw several openings in the V1 defense for Peeps to exploit. So unfortunately, they've not plugged the hole. They've actually made it a bit bigger. But now they really have to go back on that if this is going to be possible for them to win. We've talked about it a few times, but yeah, V1's record against the Peeps is horrendous, and the record in Game 5s, Game 7s is also horrendous. So they're going to need to get some wins right now if they're going to have a chance to come back in this series. Obviously, like you mentioned earlier, it's not just V1 fans that are hoping they can pull that off. It's also G2 fans who are just hoping that V1 can end the Peeps run before the Peeps overtake G2 by an even larger margin. KCP as well, Alpine. These are all teams who are in and around that kind of same points total as the Peeps and G2. You got G2, KCP, Alpine, the Peeps. They're all there. Rogue are also there, but I expect Rogue to go a very deep run in this tournament, if not win it. So I think that's going to be the new top four, really. Rogue just joining NRG, Space Station, and Envy at the top. And then you've got, I think, 4 teams there. The Peeps, Alpine, KCP, G2. They're fighting for the next 2 spots with the Peeps. Yeah. Looking like the favorites to be on top of that pile if things keep going the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wonder why we're waiting here, by the way, we did currently have a player that has disconnected. We're trying to get them back in. Once we've done that, we can get ourselves back into the game. Before then, though, Johnny, sort of discussing a little bit more about the Peeps and what they've managed to bring to the table, because they've been very consistently around that 5th to 6th spot. And I think that's a good place for them to be. They've been very comfortable throughout the season. And as we start seeing them starting to heat up, heading in towards the 3rd split, because, you know, you can be as good as you want in the opening part of the season. That part of the season doesn't win you a world championship. That part of the season doesn't even get you to the world championship. You've got to start really hitting your peak form by the end. Do you think that's something that the Peeps can do, or do they sort of have a set level to them?
The Peeps are a very interesting team because they started off looking extremely promising. I think they were a pretty obvious top 6 team at the very start of our RLCS Season X. That was a top 6 that didn't feature Rogue. You know, it was very much just the big.
I don't think many people expected KCP to be up there either.
Yeah. Well, you know, it started off. We started off RLCS Season X with a big 4. I think it's pretty obvious that G2 are no longer part of that. Rogue might have replaced them. But yeah, the Peeps have been in there since the start. They've been top 6 all along, and that bodes well for them. They've got consistency, and they have got big wins against pretty much everybody. And this could be another one. Illusion starting early for the Peeps once again. V1's troubles continue.
I love that. AG just tries to get out of the way. Just run away. Don't get in front of this ball. And allow Illusion to finally put it in. That is the Peeps continuing where they left off. The extended break not seemingly affecting them. As for V1, they've got to use it to start winning here. If we don't want to see them going into that tiebreaker game, they've got to win every single game. Otherwise, they're very much in a position that they don't want to be in. Illusion will have a bit of support around. He doesn't have any boost. Have to start rotating back instead. He's just turn around looking for Gimmick. That's the confidence that the Peeps have at the moment. Not trying to rush. I feel like that might be down to a little bit of a lack of threat as well from V1. Just need to see some power clears from them. Some immediate threat on the net, as Gyro's got Illusion wide open on the far side. Heavy with the pass, and that could have been 2.
Yeah, just a slight bit closer to Illusion, and he was going to be scored in that. Well, thankfully for V1, it was out of reach. Now Com fakes a flick, goes left to Torment, but the Peeps defense is significantly more difficult to break down than V1's has been. That's, for me, the big difference in this series. I think both teams have looked relatively effective in offense, but wow, is Peeps defense impressive. Once again, Illusion saves them after the ball spills loose into the middle. I'll tell you something, with how quickly this series is headed towards being a sweep, we could be on track for record-setting sweeps back to back to back, because I reckon, you know, whoever goes on to play Rogue in the next round, there's a good chance Rogue could sweep them. Rogue are actually playing very well today, and I don't think Peeps or V1 are, especially Peeps right now, I think they're playing very well also, but Rogue are good enough. They could make a sweep against anyone in this tournament.
We've got
anyone at all. And then NRG Envy could be a sweep. I think NRG Envy could be a sweep either
we're just
way.
going for the ultra sweep day, are we?
Yeah, I think it could happen. You know, if this is a sweep, NRG Envy could be a sweep either way. That's a very momentum-based matchup. And then, yeah, you got Rogue in a matchup. So obviously Rogue could just sweep the rest of the competition. Oh! Bit of an own goal there, but Torment forces it. 1-1, V1. The team always making the comebacks today.
Torment just looked for the top corner. Didn't care how it was going to happen. And it is off the back of the defending car, but it is still in nonetheless. 1-1. These leads have not really been all that safe for either team. Constantly changing hands. Torment needs to stay away from that, and AJ pushed it back to the corner. I'm not too sure if that was on target to start with. He'll definitely argue that it never was. Gyro 0 boost. The best he can do is knock it over to Gimmick and get himself a second save. So Gyro 0 boost warrior performing very well. Back out to Gimmick. AJ and Gyro both jumping. To Torment. Try to just slow down the play. See if Gyro go flying past. To the corner. AJ called off by Illusion. Call as well because Illusion going straight down the line. Daring Com to move in for the challenge, and that was something that Com did not want to do. Illusion again with Gyro up with him. Might go for the double. It's off the backboard. Who's going to be the first to follow it? AJ quite far back. And that does leave his team against the counterattack as Gyro cuts across. Great spatial awareness from him. And as we always seem to be, Johnny, between these two teams, we're heading into the final minute and a half. Nothing between them, but both times previously, the Peeps have managed to take it.
Yeah, the Peeps have been the clutch team today, and they've been the team with solid defense at the end of games as well. Mistakes coming late in both games before this one. 4v1 on the goal line, and they can't afford any more of those because I really don't see a reverse sweep being possible for them. It's such a low chance of happening. Now Illusion challenge from behind. Com got a bump on him, but it's wide open for Gyro, and he's going to slow roll him. Illusion finishes it off. And I don't know if Gyro had many options here, but the slow roll is just brilliant. He only had 12 boosts, but look at that. Just right behind Gimmick, who was diving in the way of it, expecting a fast shot. And the Peeps have done it again.
That was less thunderous and more torturous by Gyro. What a hit. Not completely correct. Any harder than that, and that is going to be a miraculous save. But again, it is Peeps that have taken the advantage in the last few moments of the games. V1 need to find that clutch factor. They might get a chance. Just a bump away, and here's AJ to make it too! And he's done so. The Peeps, in the second half of these games, have just been a level above.
Beautiful boost management from AJ. That is a very quick play. Wave dashes into the ball, plays it off the sidewall to himself, and snaps a shot in the top corner easily. That's the kind of ground game that we've been talking about a lot today. You know, the ability to just slam a shot or, you know, nail a flick first time is something that's becoming a lot more valuable these days, with the meta shifting more towards a varied offense. It's not all aerial gameplay like it used to be, even very recently. The players who can do that, who can switch to the ground game and just play it perfectly, you know, they're just such a high value player in their team. That's open, and it's in. Torment has done it again for V1. They leave it late every single time, but they're competitive once again.
And they're going to owe Com so much if they get this into an overtime. What an outplay. Over the top of one, wipes out the second for Torment. It wasn't the easiest shot, but he made sure he got it. Torment shooting, definitely not off form today. Gyro over in the corner, wasting a little bit more time. Exactly what his team needed from him. Also low boost for V1, but they can't afford to worry about that. They've got to get that ball to the other side of the field. And now they've got to keep that ball off the floor as well. A lot of work to do. They've not been able to do it. The Peeps on the verge of our second sweep of the day.
I think it's likely to happen here. Every game has had a similar kind of story to it. The Peeps come hot out the gate and get their noses in front. Then we have V1 responding. You know, they've really dug deep and made comebacks in every single game. But then it's the Peeps who finish off the game more strongly. So if you split the game into 3 parts, you know, the start, the middle, and the end, it's the Peeps who have got the better start and the better finish, and V1 are only good in the middle. And that's really not where you want to be the best at. You'd rather have the best finish. And, you know, having a good start is always so nice to have as well. It's great to have a 1-goal lead just seconds in, which Peeps seem to be very, very good at. So a much easier matchup for the Peeps to play, given how every single game is flowing so far. Now let's see if V1 could do it again. This is their best result in a major so far. They've made a top 6 run that they can be proud of, but they are way down in the points thanks to their first split not being anywhere near the level of the teams they're currently competing with. For those limited spots in the top 6 in NA. This could be a good start for them. Com decides to go left with the dunking play, but oh my goodness, this bounced off one player, hit the bar, hit gyro, and gone wide. And the Peeps had to get a bit lucky there, but they went for it, and they've been rewarded.
Well, that was a game of pinball that the Peeps were very much the victors of. What a start, though, from Version1. Don't want to see what's been happening to them the last few times. AJ, though, off the ceiling. Almost just managed to scoop it into the net. The thing is for V1 is that if they even do drop the first goal, they can't afford to concede immediately afterwards. That was a chance for AJ. Just sailed right past it. And actually on the goal line, Lucian's under quite a bit of pressure. Still Com looking around for defenders. Now off the backboard. What sort of offense can Com offer? Might have used a little bit too much boost just trying to attack goalkeepers earlier on. Out to him again. Outpaced though by Lucian. AJ boarding away Torment as well. It's slow rolled by Gyro. That one's not going to work this time.
Oh wow. Lucian there with the pit maneuver that just steered the ball away from AJ. It's not often you see that. Such a controlled back pass, or at least a controlled method to land a slow back pass. Now Gyro alone in defense does well. Whenever we've seen, you know, Lucian, Gyro alone in defense, they've done so well. Reading the dribbles, reading the shots perfectly every time, giving themselves great chances to save. And the drop down passes are threatening. Here come V1 again. Com actually pull shots Torment into the ball. Trying to give him a bit of a kickstart there. Not sure Torment was on board with the idea. You know, whereas V1 have struggled with their synergy, the Peeps are only elevating. They're improving as we go here. So many chances, so much pressure. That ball's just hanging about for Gyro to arrive. And, you know, he could have taken twice as long to get there. He still would have had it, because look at the assist here from Lucian and AJ. Lucian just cleared out the whole team.
Yeah, Lucian just ragdolled Torment to leave that one completely open. And it is the same story as always. Version1, though, they need to just look for a bit more grit in this situation. Can't afford to drop down a second goal. Gimmick's going to get a chance. Pops it right over the top. It's a bit of a misread there from Gyro. Gimmick can come back in. Not quite the pace they need. Torment over the top of Gyro one more time. But they are just being shepherded back into this corner, and it's a corner that they don't really get many plays created from. This one, however, from the misplay. Lucian able to cover. There's still a ball available. Another block. In comes Com. It had to go in, and it will. We're all tied up at 1 each.
Now, Lucian here was the only player who had boosts to work with. And unfortunately for the Peeps, he wasn't able to make solid contact with the ball. AJ and Gyro were just flopping around. And V1 have done it again. They've equalized after going behind in the first half of a game. Or will it just be the same script run back 4 times in a row? V1 showing the comeback potential in the mid-game and then just falling apart at the tail end of the game. Their defense needs to be better than it has been in any of the games before this one. That's been the main difference between these two teams for me. And once again, it's the Peeps coming forward, but Gyro's too close to the ball. Oh, Gimmick's just split past it. He didn't have enough boost to reach it.
There's demos, there's misses, there's whips, and we still don't have a goal for it.
I mean, it was awkward, to be fair. That was very awkward for every player involved. There's just so little boost to work with. And those open net shots from long range where you're just coming straight at the ball are hard to connect with when you don't have boost to generate a little bit of a run-up. Look at this once again. It's just so awkward. Both teams struggling to read the game.
It's a hurricane of mistakes from both teams, but only one of them are going to be able to get the goal from it. Curious now as to whether or not they'll both keep pushing the pace, or if they want to try and reset. Come very close to his teammate. Now he's up against AJ one-on-one. You don't want to be there, but Gimmick scrambles on the goal line. He gets rid of it. Now tasked with trying to clear the ball entirely. Lucian tried to hold the midfield. 1 minute left. Nothing else can go wrong for V1. That's the shot. Look for the top corner. Now the infield.
Oh my.
Nobody available to collect it, but as always, Peeps just attacking the goalkeepers. It has been impossible to get comfortable if you're V1. This isn't going to work out. Gyro, free clear for him. Would have preferred it if AJ had more than 12 boost. Back out one more time. Over to the wall. Gimmick with a chance to follow. Use it, just scramble that ball into the midfield. So, here we are yet again. Clutch moments of the game. V1 needing the goal. They are going to be out of it. Peeps have come out on top every single time we've been in this position. Torment does well in the challenge. Maybe able to give his team one more chance at net before we go to overtime. Solution clears. Com turns. Nobody really available to him to get to. It's going to be up to V1 to now put this ball on the floor to try and get us to overtime. They have done so. Tournament lives on the line.
Well, something new here. V1 at least going to hold on for a bit longer. Do they have any fight left in them? It's been such a struggle to hang with the Peeps in this matchup. Just a one-sided matchup historically and currently. Com takes his time, baits the fake challenge, doesn't fall for that one. And a Torment clears along, saw some space over the top of Gyro. Actually, he's gone straight through him. Gyro was expecting a 50-50 there. And there's help coming for V1. They do have their whole team here in offense, but looks like they're kind of all on the same side of the field. So there's nobody at the back post waiting for a pass to come to them. And just like that, their attacks grind to a halt. But struggles for the Peeps as well. As Lucian doesn't connect with the flick, which he's trying to just get some kind of power on to clear the ball down the line.
Well, that might be the chance, though. Look at the side. Pinch clear as well. Com will look to try and break away. That was so close for Peeps taking the series. It's not going to happen. Now Gyro off the misplay from Gimmick. It's off the backboard. Open and available, but neither team able to get to it all too quickly, and that means that it's another clear for V1. We march on in overtime.
V1 will just be hoping that something goes their way now. The Peeps haven't had the best time with their clears in overtime either, so V1 should get chances if their defense can hold on. And it's been the best defensive display that we've seen from them in any of the games here. Now Gimmick's actually just going to miss this, leaves it for Com. I think he expected a ceiling bounce there, but none came through. And Com gets dunked on, but V1 are pressed up together here. They're holding that line at the midfield, going for early interceptions. Perfect fake challenge by V1, followed up by a real challenge from a different player. So that's, you know, some really good synergy by them in the challenge game. Now Torment waits downfield, back into the middle for Gimmick. He's challenged, but he gets the ball past the last defender. V1 are not done.
And finally, they've got the overtime to go their way. What a shot by Gimmick. What a play by V1. I asked to see a bit of grit from them in this game. They have provided it. Had to grind out that victory against a Peeps team that did look a little bit off their game. Defensively at the start of it, just as good as we've got used to seeing. But when things started to go wrong, I think it'd be a bit harsh for me actually just to put that on the Peeps. Both teams started making more mistakes.
Yeah, the Peeps were just trying to get a hard clear and wait for a V1 mistake. They're just saying, okay, V1 have messed up enough times in defense. Let's just hit the ball hard at them and see when they're going to mess up and hand us this game. But V1, they didn't make any late mistakes here to throw this one away. They fought back once again, and they were able to hold on. I think we had a post-pinch save by them at the start of this overtime to keep them in this. And what a goal there. Torment and Gimmick combining. One of the most legendary combinations, obviously, in all of Rocket League right there. But they've done it again. And a perfect finish as well on that shot. Straight in the top corner. And it's still possible for V1. Not likely, given their record in this matchup, but it's possible.
Hey, it's a lot of these teams don't like the narratives that get pushed about them, especially when they're negative.
Well, they should
What a
probably
way
win more
of
then.
removing the negative narrative about yourself not being clutched by reverse sweeping a top 6 team.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear any complaints about a team's not liking a narrative when they've lost 100% of the time against another team. I mean, that's kind of a... Not really much you can do about that one. It's going to, you got to talk about it. So, I'm sure V1 rather don't like it, but they're going to have to settle with it because it is, in fact, just how things are. They've never beaten the Peeps before, and that is already another early goal for the Peeps. This just keeps happening. V1 are not going to catch a break in the first minute of these games.
That's just simple as you like, clean as you like. AJ, we know what he is capable of. And if you just give him a shot like that, as simple as that one, he is always going to put it in. V1, the pressure just never goes away, does it? They haven't had a 2-goal lead all series long. Had a lot of 1-goal leads. This is not going to be one of them. Just always on the verge, teetering on elimination. It might be about to get worse. Com very bravely allows the ball to just skip past him before he tries to take control. I'm very aware that there wasn't going to be a Peeps player available to just dunk it on him.
I love that from the Peeps as well, though. Seeing Com making that play, he's not got any momentum there. He doesn't have any way to clear the ball and generate power on it himself. So why give him a 50-50? He's looking for a 50-50. Not going to get one. Oh, AJ! Wanted the top right corner again. He nailed the top right for the first shot. Just missed it there. The Peeps are, so far, making this very difficult for V1. They're not giving V1 any easy clears. Lots of fake challenges in the offensive corners. Plenty boost steals as well. V1 need those clears. They need time to establish that midfield pressure that they've relied on in every game so far.
Fake challenge there from Gyro. Sets him up with a Lucian up in support. Get bumped away. Now AJ, flip reset. Gyro as well, but he might take it the whole way by himself. Here is Gyro, shut down. But the Peeps have had all the pressure so far. And it just seems like it's a matter of time before they find that second goal.
Yeah, Peeps are probably sick of losing these 1-goal leads that they've had over V1 every single game here. They want a second one. Gyro just running out of boost too soon. And gone with a heroic save on Lucian's shot that followed up. V1 having to do a lot in defense here, but they are for now keeping this game at a 1-goal deficit. Feels necessary, really, if Peeps can establish that 2-goal lead with how well they've defended overall today. It's very hard. It's hard to see V1 coming back from 2 down. 1 is hard enough.
I feel like this game has got more and more physical as we've gone through. We are seeing more car demos than ball hits. And so we've got ourselves through here to game number 5. Gyro, 0 boost. Gonna pick up and steal away one of the other ones, but that's not the most advised touch from him. Gets the ball to the other side of the field. Now he's looking for a mistake. AJ won't provide. It's back out to Gimmick. Is just hit on the way through. 100 seconds on the clock now. Version1 need to try and clutch up yet again. They want to hold themselves in this tournament, but that's just horrid. Peeps just toying with them in the midfield.
Very fake challenge by Torment as well, though. He's dispossessed Gyro and collected the back corner boost all in one fell swoop there. It's those little plays that are helping V1 to establish this game in the midfield that they want. This is where they want to be. Cheeky interception there from Lucian on his way back to defense. That's slowing down V1. It's, just wasting a little bit more time off the clock. And it's so difficult for V1 to find any shooting opportunities. Got to try and spread out here. They've got to give each other passing options. The Peeps defense is good against even the best offense. And V1 haven't been at their best in game 5.
Definitely can't afford to concede another one now. As much as they want to get to the other side of the field. Need to get rid of this. Gimmicks missed the clear. In comes Gyro to try and finish off the series. It's off the crossbar. What? Both posts and the crossbar have now denied the Peeps. So the Rocket League field seems to be on the side of Version1. Now can they do their part? 30 seconds left.
And it's not looking like it's going to be easy for them. Peeps have got full boost in all their members. That's a pre-flip attempt for Gimmick. He's not going to make it. AJ, 2-0 for the Peeps. Torment wanted to try and control this. He was trying to knock it into the corner, chase after it, but it got away from him. And that careless heavy hit in defense has given the Peeps what they've been looking for all day. That 2-goal lead, which looks so insurmountable. Big kickoff for V1. Immediately crumbles. And unless they score in this attack, it's going to be all over for them. Best run in RLCSX so far. And it hasn't been as competitive as they would have liked it to be.
No, definitely. They did manage to stick around quite well. They dug their heels in. And this is a team that we look forward to seeing in the spring split. But for now, we bid farewell to Version1. They are eliminated by the Peeps, who extend their lead in that top 6.
A great series there by the Peeps. They were significantly better defensively than Version1 today. I think when it comes to offensive prowess, both teams were quite similar. They had passes being attempted. There were some solo plays being attempted. But the Peeps were so much more patient in defense. They were so much more controlled with their possession. It made it very difficult for V1 to pick up any freebies. Whereas, yeah, V1, they were panicking. They were impatiently leaving their goal open at bad times. The Peeps were able to punish them again and again. Now, I don't think that performance from the Peeps, although it was far too much for V1 to handle, I don't think it's something that Rogue fans should be too afraid of. Peeps obviously knocked Rogue down into that lower bracket yesterday. But based on what we've seen from Rogue today, that was a totally different team. We've not seen Sirocco and Turinturo just removing themselves from the equation like they did against the Peeps yesterday. I haven't seen it at all today, so I think it's going to be very difficult for the Peeps to even score against Rogue today. And yeah, with how well Rogue played against SSG, I'm gonna stick to what I said earlier. You know, we didn't see a sweep here, but I think Rogue are going to sweep Peeps.
Okay, well, for Rogue and the Peeps, they have managed to at least clear level 1, but we need to find out who the final boss is going to be. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, it is upper bracket final time as Team Envy take on NRG.